Technique is no substitute for power.
Now I know that is quite a controversial quote that will probably make some of your people's brain go, but it's an important place to start this video. You see, I've always advocated the idea of introspection and reflecting on one's movement in climbing, as I see that being one of the big missing pieces to almost everyone's ability to climb harder, mine included. However, I've also always had the saying that if you can't hold on to any of the holds, you can't apply any form of technique. What I mean by that is, oftentimes when we try something at our very limits, the reason we fall off is that we just cannot hold on. We just cannot be in the position that the climb forces us to, which is due to a lack of finger strength or body power. And when that happens, it doesn't really matter if you have the best technique in the entire world. If you don't have enough strength and power, you just can't stay on the wall. And if you take this climb where you, for example, couldn't hold on to the holds, and you take somebody who has piss poor technique, but they're just really strong, they're probably going to complete the climb before you do. As a contrast to this, you could be on the wall with the most perfect technique that's ever existed, but if you didn't have enough strength, you just wouldn't be able to do it.
This video is made in collaboration with Crimpd, and it will host a slew of theoretical climbing stuff. I'll present 5 workouts in total, and we'll see how a V5 climber performs them, but also talk about why each exercise is performed. The pace will be quite high, so if you happen to miss a thing or two, don't worry, because they will all be well documented and described in the Crimpd app. You can download it for free and find the workouts under my playlist. Should you log one of the workouts before November 15th, you have a chance to win the premium version of Crimpd Plus for life, as well as a one-to-one online coaching session with me. The workouts are designed to help you improve your technique and ability to climb harder, provided you are around the V5 to V8 range.
Before we can get into those, we need to take a look at what climbing technique actually is, so here's my definition of it. Climbing technique is the ability to utilize your strengths and weaknesses in the most efficient way possible. Why this definition? Well, to some people, technique could be described as not cutting loose, or even just as climb being controlled, where controlled often refers to static movement. Those are both far from what I would call good technique, as they both encourage movement patterns that aren't always optimal. They are both very good baseline rules to follow when you're climbing on, for instance, long vertical and lower graded sport routes, but as soon as you start to set foot in the higher grades, you'll notice that there are a lot more dynamic moves and cutting loose is not rarely involved, which means that moving dynamically and cutting loose can become sort of pillars for elite level climbers, both in bouldering and in lead climbing. A very good example of this would be when Chris Sharma started to break into the climbing world, and he shattered the well-cemented static style that always was beloved by everyone, making many of the world's hardest ascents through his dynamic and cut loose-like style. And Chris probably has what I would describe as the most nearly, if not already, perfect technique within this style. And he utilized that technique in the most efficient way possible. That being said, cutting loose and climbing dynamically is not also what is good technique. The point is more so that it's just different technique, and the way you apply that technique is what really matters. The problem with dynamic movements and cutting loose is that it'll often expend a lot more energy than if you could do the opposite way and keep your feet on. With those two perspectives in mind, we can start to consider what good technique actually is. If we take any climbing move and simplify it, we have a few key components. There's grip strength to hold on to the holds, there are feet placements to optimize the force going down through your legs, and there's finger strength needed to move towards the next hold, finger strength required to latch the next hold, and lastly, body strength to stop the motion. It's a very simplified way of looking at climbing, but it does apply to basically any climbing move out there. There are of course more complex versions of this if you have a paddle dyno, for instance, and more simpler versions of this if you just have a very slow static movement. But this brings me to the first mistake that I often see people at this level make. And with the wrong position, it doesn't really matter if you have all the grip strength and grip in the world, but equally so, you won't stay on the wall if you can't hold the holds or create tension through your body, despite having the perfect position on the wall. In the end, knowing how each move will affect your body position is crucial in order to improve, and your average climber won't have fully developed the understanding for this. And that's why the exercises in this video are designed to help us improve specifically that. One of the big reasons that people lack control is a lack in upper body power. The easiest way to build climbing-related upper body power is through the campus bouldering exercise. I'll put it out there right away, this is probably the most underrated climbing exercise that I know of. I've done this since as long as I can remember, and it's been a cornerstone to my climbing. The workout I'd suggest is to find 4 boulders in total and climb each of these 3 times without the usage of your feet. At first, I'd suggest finding regular boulders in the gym. Just try to be kind so you're not campusing somebody's project right in front of them. Otherwise, if that's too hard, the spray wall is often a great tool for this, although it can be quite hard there and challenging at times. There's 2 ways to do it, either by matching the holds or with the rules of no matching. I personally prefer not to match, but if it's necessary, it's completely fine to do. The second exercise that I have is designed to help you understand body position and train in extended positions. So this is more of the static version of climbing that we're trying to enhance our technique within and improve in. What we do is we find a decent hold where we can deeply lock off from. We then proceed by finding positions that allow us to bump one hand further and further, ultimately ending in a position that is completely extended. It's often best to do this on a vertical wall, but if you want to train more power, you can try the same thing on an overhang or a spray wall. Since this is more of a technique drill, we climb the boulder once and alternate sides between each go. After that, we rest for around 3 minutes before doing the same thing on 2 additional boulders. Continuing on the power training, I think weighted pull-ups are a great exercise to have in your tool belt, and I would say that they're undeniably good for climbing. I've seen people of all levels and I've seen people of all body types do this exercise and see benefits from it. For some, it obviously won't be the key to climbing your hardest, but for a lot of people, it'll help you improve. In the Crimpd app, you can find a 2-rep test for this to see what your max is. And when you know what your max is, we start off with the exercise, which is to train at 90% of this 2-rep max. What we'll do is 3 repetitions at 90%, and then complete this for 5 additional sets, where we're resting around 3 minutes in total per set. Continuing on mistake number 2, with the risk of sounding quite arrogant, learning static motion is often quite simple. All you really need to do is climb a lot and train a lot, and it'll come quite naturally. I'd also argue that it feels freaking amazing. I love to climb statically. However, dynamic climbing, although intuitive for some, can often feel quite awkward and strange to most people, as well as quite scary. I find it to be a common mistake to not practice this more early on, as it's kind of a movement repertoire that you're just leaving behind and practicing later on. And because of that, we do exercise number 4, dyno training. So when I started out climbing, dyno training was one of the things I did the most. I've always loved doing dynos, and I still do. I would probably go as far as to say that this is the most completed exercise in my toolbox, especially when I was climbing around V6 to V7. All we really have to do is climb something that's a few grades below our maximum level and continuously eliminate some of the holds for every attempt that we do. Eventually, the moves will become so big that we just cannot do them anymore, at which point we switch on to the next boulder. We do this on 3 boulders in total at a variety of angles. You can do this on an overhang, a vertical wall, and even on a slab if that's your preference. Just find something that floats your boat and go for that. Lastly, the mistake I see a very large amount of climbers, even at the higher levels, make is not quite understanding the connection between finger strength and climbing technique. It is so incredibly common that people think they can't do a move because they're not using the right technique. But in reality, as we discussed earlier, you can't apply good technique without enough finger strength. And around V5, you're almost always in need of a bit more of this in order to improve. Which is why I've included the classics of classics in climbing, finger training. I could probably list about 50 different ways to train fingers for climbing, but for now we'll stick to the tried and true method for getting stronger fingers, which is max hangs. We start off testing our fingers by doing 7 seconds of hanging on a roughly 20mm edge for 8 sets, adding a little bit of weight until we reach one which feels to be at our max, or actually is our max because we fail it. After this, the training is performed by doing 10-second hangs on the same edge, and we do this for 6 sets in total with a 2-minute rest between every single set. So those are the 5 exercises that I believe are the most useful for somebody climbing around V5 to V8. They are, as mentioned, all in the Crimpd app, and also remember, if you log them before November 15th, you can win an online coaching session with me as well as Crimpd Plus for life. So a little bit more on Crimpd Plus is that it's the premium version of the app, and it allows you to access to over 200 more workouts. In addition to that, you can create your own workout schedule. You can use the skill templates that are in there already. In fact, we've designed a specific skill template for this level, should you want to try that one out. All you have to do is click on a button, it'll toss the exercises in a weekly program, and you'll have it all periodized, which is a great way to train. Alright, now as the same in the previous video, we're gonna check it out how it looks when a V5 climber tries these exercises as well.
Here we go, our test subject for this video.
Hello.
A fantastic person, a runner, but also a climber. You've flashed 7A on the kilter board, right?
Once, yeah.
Once?
Yeah.
So I figured we'd start off with the dynamic drill. For starters, you can skip 1 or 2 holds on the boulder, since there aren't that many to begin with, and then we'll progress that as we go.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, what can we do now? What's gonna be the next step?
Maybe go directly to that one.
Yeah, so we're skipping this Gaston entirely.
Yeah.
And going for a much more explosive move.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Nice. Good. Good start. Good start. So I think you can get a bit more use from your left foot.
Yeah.
If you,
you,
because right now you're kind of leaning towards, like you're pulling with your arms right away. Yeah. But if you start with the straight arms and push from the left foot a bit more.
Yeah. The swing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
So before you continue, there's one more thing, because I think you're starting to like work through the movement well.
Yeah.
But the second you get to the hold, it's like your lower hand just completely forgets that it exists.
Yeah, yeah.
So you let this go before you start catching this one.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is really sync them up so that you're pressing down with your tricep and pulling your weight in.
Yeah.
Whilst you're catching the hold.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it.
Sweet. Full body, synchronize, and go. Nice. So good. So good. Good. Very good.
Nice.
So in this case, you could take away the last foothold, but I don't think it's necessary for this example. I think this was a good level for you. It looked like you learned a lot in this first move.
Yeah.
And basically, if we can learn one thing from every boulder, that's a massive win. So, sweet. Next up is probably the most underrated climbing exercise that I know of, which is just campusing boulders. Like literally just campusing boulders in the gym. And we found this one. Have you climbed it before with feet?
Yes.
Have you climbed it without feet?
No, I might have tried it. I don't know. It's inviting.
It's inviting, it
campus.
is. What I usually do, if there's a start that's not really campusable, is I just do the first move, like this, and then start hanging.
Yeah.
And if you find like one move too hard, you can also start, you know, like for instance, this move could be quite difficult.
Yeah.
And if you find that too hard, you can of course skip it. But I think it's good to try and do as much of it as possible campus. Nice, strong, come on. Yeah, come on. So good. Really, really good. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
You had actually some exceptional flow in the campus there.
Thanks.
I would say most people who climb like V5 or around that grade definitely don't look that smooth when doing it. And a lot of basic techniques that I wanted to poke at aren't really there because you're doing them well.
Yeah. I have campused a bit. Like I agree, it's a good kind of exercise to feel the flow of momentum going. So.
I think what we should do is try to have you campus it without matching ones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good, good. Oh, come on, keep the focus. So good, yes. Nice. Very, very good. The interesting thing about this one in particular is there's like 2 sections of campusing. One is creating the motion and just swinging around like you're doing at the end here. And I think you do this really, really well, where you start like just basically dangling from your arms to move between the holds. That's a technique that a lot of people need to learn, but most people won't. And instead it would be, when people campus, it's much more common that they're like kind of, like they really lock everything off.
Bending the arms. I think like monkey bars is a good way to learn this principle, because I remember being at the playground and seeing kids do the monkey bars.
Okay.
And then I tried to do the monkey bars and it was like impossible, because I basically go like statically with bent arms locked off.
Like punching it.
And then that's how I learned it. Before I was a climber. So.
Okay. So it's from your youth.
From my monkey bar years.
The deep lock off. Essentially, I want you to find a
decent starting hold. This one might be too good, but we'll start with it and then we'll progress to worse and worse holds as we learn it. So I'll showcase it once and then you can give it a go.
Yeah.
So we'll find a good foothold for the right one. Let's take this one and then just go small lock off.
Yeah.
Bump. Keep on pressing. Bump again.
Yeah.
So that's a full extension. I just kept on bumping until I was fairly extended. And you can go further if you can,
Yeah.
But you don't
So you
necessarily
went
have
to
to.
this and then started bumping?
Yep.
Okay.
So first the lock off, really good, and then you keep on pressing.
So pressing here?
Yeah. I keep the hand in a grip position, like
this?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, come on, and keep on pressing and try to go to the next one. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think happened there? Like why didn't you do the last move? What was
I mean, my instinct is to like shift
the
the arm I'm on and start pressing from
Yep.
it instead of like holding on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fair, and I think especially when it's this big, the hold kind of invites you to just flip it because it's going to feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
But the purpose is specifically this to be able to like pull your weight in and push.
Yeah.
Let's try it on this boulder. So we can move our feet up if we need to. And the purpose is just to find that tension through the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Good. Yeah, good. Really good.
Yeah.
All right, how was that?
Yeah. Easier on the
Easier.
right side. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you looked a lot more comfortable
Yeah.
and a bit stronger in the right than the left.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call it quits on this exercise for now
Yeah.
and head over to what is, in my opinion, the most fun thing to test you on or see you on, which is going to be finger strength and pull-up power. Because this guy is a proper gym bro, so we're going to see what a gym bro does in the climbing, area.
Yeah.
Okay, let's head downstairs.
Yeah.
See, we're going to start on the 18 millimeter edge, almost 20. 20 millimeters is the most common one to be optimal. And basically what you want to do is you want to fill as much of your digit as possible with just the one digit. So we'll start on this. And I don't know how much you can add, to be honest. Like if you want to warm up a little bit,
we
take
can
it
try.
step by step. Okay, good. Sweet. So we'll rest for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then add a little bit of weight. Yeah, come on. Nice. So good. You're also starting like...
Yeah, 1 second
he's
before.
such a-
I don't
yeah.
want to cheat.
Yeah, he said this before filming, like, I was like, how much can you add on a weighted pull-up? And he was like, well, depends, strict or not. And you could tell from his eyes that he was like, climbers don't do pull-ups legitimately. I think you can add 10 kilograms if you're holding it for from that.
Yeah, for
At
sure.
least.
Yeah,
So-
it felt better than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. One more second. Yeah, so good, so good.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
I think we can call this your max because you were starting to like let
Yeah,
go a little
it
bit.
felt really close to maxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like comfortably 7 seconds on this. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do plus 10 kilograms for the actual workout for this man to be at a like reasonable level because you're going to be hanging for 10 seconds instead of 7.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so the workout's pretty simple. We do 6 sets, 10 seconds on, just like this. Come on, come on, push it out. Nice. Okay, how's that?
I actually slipped down like to
To the more open
yeah.
grip. Okay. I'm thinking like for a person around V5, what do you think they should be expecting in terms of the sensations in your body?
like slight burning in the forearms, I would say.
Yep.
And like feeling of, I definitely don't feel any pain anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I really feel this part of my arm kind of working a lot. Yeah.
Let's showcase the exercise that you're very familiar with.
Yeah.
Weighted
the
pull-ups.
Weighted pull-ups. Yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah, I felt fairly easy.
Yeah.
I mean, we can add 10 kilos just so I can like gradually warm up.
Yeah.
Okay, 30,
boys.
30 kilos.
Nice.
I actually feel this is easier than the bar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, then I like holding like this more than holding like...
Probably a climber thing.
Maybe.
That you're like getting comfortable to grabbing something more than
Yeah.
having your wrists rotated.
I don't know why, but yeah. I think this is gonna go good. Maybe maybe I can even do 50 today.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Like 30 looked easy for you. Nice. Yeah, really good. It's hard to tell if you're even trying yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked.
50 kilos. Let's go. Nice. Come on. Nice.
Maybe I didn't do the full range.
I say we can call this your max.
Yeah. Should we try and do on the bar just
Yeah,
this?
sure. Yeah.
Definitely feel tired now, so we'll see how.
Yeah. I mean, if you can do roughly the same, then it's roughly the same. Shoulders popping out. Nice. Come on. Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That looked better than the previous one. So,
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to fail this one, so.
So we'll try the workout. 90%, 3 sets. No, 3 reps. Yeah, let's give it a go. Nice. 1. Sweet. Easily. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom. Smashed it. Any comments on this exercise for the inexperienced viewer, perhaps?
I really like this exercise. I feel it's like, one of my favorite exercises.
Yep.
It's a really nice feeling in your body, like pulling really hard, I think. I never got injured on it, actually.
But yeah, we're done with the workouts.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy them?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
Yeah. I really like the campus bouldering.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, thanks for joining in.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
See you guys later.
Alright folks, that concludes the V5 to V8 section of this series, but stay tuned for the next one where we'll be diving from a V8 and how to get beyond that grade. So that'll be out in a few days, and I hope to see you there.